Ronan. Welcome back to the channel. The Emil 1951 is in sale in the store. You can get it for 15,000 gold, kitted up, or for 12,500. Lots of reviews going on. I'm going to do a quick one and tell you my 2 cents on the tank. First of all, let's compare it to the Emil 1. The reason I've been rallying a bit against the tank is because I feel like the Emil 1 is just as good. I do think that there are some advantages to the Emil 51, but if you look at the DPM pen alpha, similar. I will note that the pen for the 51 is excellent for the APCR 270, and this is this is using the rammer. So calibrate that puppy, which you don't need to. It would be pretty high. Same on the HE, but better pen as well. Quite a bit better pen on the APCR. And then the other things are similar in terms of comparison. I would say the on movement rotation sucks. 0.22 for the regular Emil 1, so a little bit of an advantage there, but dispersion for both of these tanks are just not great. Aim time's relatively high. They both have -10 gun depression, but the upper is only 14-15. I don't think that that's a huge problem. Tanks is faster, so a lot of people treat this like it is a medium the reverse speed is 20, which is strong. It does have a better power to weight and effective power to weight to the Emil 1. So all of those are good advantages. It does have a slower and a better, no mod traverse as well. So it's a faster tank. It's got better movement. Obviously, it's got the credit coefficient. So if you need credits, I do not. Then you could go there. Now, the biggest difference, though, however, between the two tanks is actually the fact that they are very different in terms of their armor. So on the left-hand side over here, you have the Emil. Up over here, you have the 51. And looking up front, they look relatively similar, but the values here are important. So the upper plate of the Emil 1, 271 to 217, huge difference. Lower plates, front lower plates, are actually better for the Emil 51 at 186. That is an advantage I didn't think about. The Emil 1 is lower, but the idea behind this tank is to go haul down. And when you go haul down with these tanks, as you can see there on the Emil 1 on the left, you got very high values, nearly 300 millimeters of thickness on the Emil 51, or the Emil, and the 51 is in the high 200s, still pretty good, but you're gonna get shot in the cheeks. So it's just not as good. It doesn't have the armor. And you look at the size, it does have a little bit of spaced armor there. That's only 5 millimeter. That just prevents getting shot with high explosive. The thickness of the Emil 1 is much. So the trick to this, and you look at the turret and the huge turret of the Emil 1951, you can shoot high explosive almost anywhere on there. Just don't hit this strip of, that strip right there. And you can high explosive almost any part of this tank except the front. Again, watch the spaced armor and do it. The Emil 51 does have a very weak rear, your 50 values, but it's going to be a little bit harder to high explosive it, except for in the rear. The values are in the 80s. So overall, the armor is okay. What this tank comes down to, and we'll take a look at Rebel's replay here, is it in fact worth the money? And I'll tell you right now that I don't think so. It's not worth 12,500 gold, which in American dollars is, standard gold prices. That's, I don't know, 30 bucks or something. But I would say this, if you like playing this type of tank, you like the reload mechanisms, etc., I think it's an interesting choice. I trust Garage. Garage is a hell of a player, and I think he knows what tanks work or not. And he actually said to me that he thinks it's a good tank. I also got Sig and some other guys grumpy at me in the channel because I said it sucks. So there are some fans here, and I'd say if you like the type of tank this is, mobile, heavy, that has an auto loader, I think it's probably a good tank to consider. It's not. I've got myself a hoard of gold that I don't even know what I'm doing with. But I'm not going to buy it because I just don't think it's different or better enough than the Emil 1. I want, in my heavies, I want armor. And this tank's armor is kind of trolly. It's got good-ish front armor, shit side and rear armor. I don't know. This is not my style of tank. Reminds me a little bit of the armor style of the AMX, the Tier 8 AMX, and the French tanks, essentially, which I do not love. I don't like having to constantly be worried about getting shot with high explosive in the rear of the side. That being said, Garage counts A here. Naval Frontier, and the gun here is not great, but Rebel knows how to use guns like this. He's a Borsig pro. And let's see if he gets his hat shot. He does not. That's all right. He maintained all of his hit points, and he went to the space in naval here on A that is just one of the best spots in the game for tanks that have hull down -10 gun depression, and he's working that very hard. Those guys can't touch him. He knows that. The IS-3 is not even looking at him, and Rebel probably could tell, like, the guy's just tunneling somebody else. There's one, and Rebel get the next one. Does he get it? Auto aimed it, but I think he didn't get it. So now Rebel jumps down, and why does he jump down here, guys? One of the common mistakes I see is people spend too much time up there. You got to go and get going at some point here. And Rebel turned that from a 5-on-6 to a 5-on-4 with jumping down there, and he still hasn't taken a single shot. There's his Emil friend who runs over there. Rebel really wants to get this Scorp out, and he also sees an Emil 1 who's not paying much of attention to him, and he wants to clear. Look at the tank move up the hill. Now, the tank is mobile. I haven't played it, as I said. Rebel clears that very blind Scorp. This tank's mobility is what I think is probably unique, and it's got some pretty serious speed. I'm not quite sure what tank to compare it to exactly in Tier 8 heavies, but I guess maybe the Emil 1. Because Emil 1 with the speed boost does really move with a super speed boost. Rebel clips that guy out, smart play, and it's 2-on-2. Rebel is now getting, a little bit in a spot here. The AT-15 said he's too slow. The guy's been camping all game. Rebel's got good points, and there is the STG Guard, another weird tank, by the way, pancakey. Rebel gets behind him. Can he get the high explosive? He doesn't even try it. Just clips him with AP. He wants the damage done. And it's 3-on-2. I don't know where I saw 2-on-2. 3-on-2. Other Emil, the STG is going after the other Emil, Achilles, who is now dead. And so now it's 2-on-2. Sorry, maybe I'm losing my mind. Rebel pushes up the hill. 2-on-2. Rebel's got 1282 damage. His AT-15 helper there actually has great DPM and full health. So Rebel's position here, and I think you're watching a great player play, is he's playing this smart. And watch the reverse speed. God, that's one thing I love about the Emil. There's other tanks that have that really fast reverse speed, like the Shark, I believe, that just, you can just do so much when you don't have to turn the whole damn thing around. So Rebel's going for the cap. He knows he can hopefully hide here behind all these tanks. Unfortunately, it does take a big shot from the STG, and now he's got the other Emil up there. But that Emil takes a pretty big shot from the AT-15, who, by the way, nowadays has like ridiculous DPM. Rebel is in a tight pinch here because this STG actually is doing a good job of pincering him off. The AT-15 is trying to figure out what to do and getting in Rebel's way. Yeah, let's have some trash talk. Wouldn't be Blitz without it. And let's see if Rebel gets a shot at it. Oh, he doesn't. I will say the dispersion of both the Emil post the nerf, it got massively nerfed, as we all know, a while back, a couple of months ago. Post the nerf, the Emil's cannon is just shit, and you just see it there. Look at that. So Rebel reloads. He's got the point lead, and the problem that I'm concerned is that this AT-15 is going to die, and then with the death of the AT-15, the point lead switches. Now, even though they do have 2 bases capped, so it's going to come down to whether the bases capped versus the SCG runs in, dives in on the AT-15. Rebel looks for the opportunity to clip him, gets one shot in. The AT-15 gets a shot in there. If they get him, it's all over, and Rebel does for the win. It is all over. Gets a nice little shot in the St. Emil for the hell of it. Double win, as some say. Excellent game by Garage. You sure know how to play, Rebel. Well done. And gets the ace. 3276 damage, 6 kills, 1481 base. That is obscene. And yes, we kind of suspected this AT-15 did not know what he was doing. But nonetheless, hey, guys, I would say if you got the gold, you like the kind of tank it is, go buy it. What the hell? What are you saving the gold for, right? Why do I have 120,000 gold? But nonetheless, I'm going to stick to this bad boy. I like it, and it's a great tank. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great